Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of May 30th, 2021. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog.
2 points!
Our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, along with our in-ring correspondent, Quicksilver, and it's time for what? Bracket 6 of our Intercontinental Champion title tournament. With no fucking further ado, let's get into it. We gotta call the coin toss.
Heads.
There you go.
Tails.
All right, I defer. Luke, start us off.
Luke, you got number 8, Ryback.
I defer. You can't. All right.
He can forfeit.
Ryback. He held the Intercontinental title. Ryback. He lost the Intercontinental title. Time.
Well, there you go.
There's nothing I can say about it. He knew shit was the Intercontinental champion.
You're not
I'm
wrong.
going to attack him in this one.
Fuck Ryback.
Caleb, you're going to need one hell of a strong argument.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, here we go.
Better.
Number 51, AJ Styles.
You can just say his name.
The phenomenal AJ Styles is also a transcontinental, intercontinental champion of having been intercontinental champion in 2 separate promotions.
Not winning that argument this
Fuck
time around.
Ryback.
Not winning that argument this time around.
I think that one's clear. We're going with Ryback.
We're going with Ryback.
I will take a shit. I will take a shit right here.
I will take my veto from the finals and use it now.
AJ Styles goes through.
I lost for
sure.
Dusty
All
Rhodes
right,
at Coco.
all right. That
I'm so pissed off at myself.
Caleb, you won that one.
Yo, lay it on me, Daddy.
You want to go first? You want to defer?
I'll go first. Fuck it.
Attaboy.
Live a
All
little.
right, you got number 61.
The gobbledygooker.
I'm sorry, 16. Yes, the gobbledygooker. No, Finn Balor.
Oh!
The demon Finn Balor.
Finn Balor came back from a neck injury after having to vacate his initial WWE Universal Championship and skyrocketed directly into the Intercontinental title picture. As Intercontinental Champion, defended the belt against AJ Styles in a pay-per-view, which was the last-minute sanctioned event, which he had no preparation for, and won Match of the Year that year. I think it was 2017.
Yes.
Finn Balor was defended the Intercontinental title at Monday Night Raw, as well as international live events in Japan, because he was a mainstay there. Wrestled AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy. I'm trying to think of a couple of more names to give some levity to the actual contest of the Intercontinental title, but is exactly what you expect to be a New Age Intercontinental Champion, and went to use that to return to NXT to become the NXT Champion, not once again, but twice.
Time.
All right. Luke,
damn it.
Are you ready?
I could have made a better argument for that.
You're going to have to lie, cheat, steal your way through this one. You got number 23, Eddie Guerrero.
Cack.
His son's name's Dominic.
Huh?
No, all right.
Ministerial line!
Eddie Guerrero is the Intercontinental Champion. Was the first. He was the European Champion, but in my opinion, was the first actual championship that meant anything in his WWE career. Eddie Guerrero won the Intercontinental Championship against Jeff Hardy, if I'm not mistaken, on a Raw. Had some of the greatest Intercontinental title matches of the Ruthless Aggression era. One that comes to mind is him and Rob Van Dam in a ladder match on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most hard-hitting ladder matches ever to be given away on free TV. Eddie Guerrero used actually, I think was Intercontinental Champion twice. Sharing it once when he was managered by China. No, he was Intercontinental Champion at that time. Yeah. Because they made a thing about China not being Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, Eddie Guerrero coming as the Radicals was a big loss to WCW. Come in immediately and won the European and then the Intercontinental, which he took the Intercontinental to higher heights. Could have also built that better.
I fucked that Balor.
Me too.
I'm gonna go with Latino Heat.
Yeah.
On arguments alone.
Yeah, I think I'll even
Eddie Guerrero.
I think I fucked up that argument too.
That's all right.
Eddie
We got
goes
time.
through.
You have another chance.
Yeah.
Is it Eddie and AJ so far?
Yeah.
Eddie and AJ.
Who else we got?
Uh-huh.
That'd be a good one.
All right.
I defer.
Luke, you won that one. You defer?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me my guy. Come on. Give me my
talk about
fucking
him
guy.
a little bit ago. You have got number 79, the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh! You'd have been better suited for that one, but
Rhythm and blues. Come on, man.
man, don't fucking remind me. That's what pressure does.
Did he wrestle Coco Ware? That happened?
Up until the modern era of professional wrestling as we know it, Honky Tonk Man was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion on paper. That's a fact.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. He was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion on paper up into the modern era. As a matter of fact, I'm not certain there's been an Intercontinental Championship to break his record.
There hasn't been one. There hasn't been one.
As far as prolific reigns, that's different, but he's been the longest reigning on-record Intercontinental Champion for well over a year.
He's also sold his career out being the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Yeah. Even though he lost it in 12 seconds to the Ultimate Warrior.
Not his fault.
No, that's what it's
All right, Luke, are you ready?
God, I hope so.
You got number 87. Ninth wonder of the world, China.
Damn good argument.
All right, China. The first female to ever hold a WWE championship. Yep. In her match to win the championship, she wrestled Jeff Jarrett on a match that Jeff Jarrett wasn't even contractually obligated to defend the title. In one of the most entertaining Intercontinental title matches on that entire pay-per-view, the Good Housekeeping match. China set a precedent for aspiring women wrestlers everywhere by showing that just because you're a woman in a men's-dominated sport doesn't mean you can't be the woman in a man-dominated sport. China will go down in history as being one of the greatest women's wrestling champions of all time. People like Tessa Blanchard build their career on that.
Damn good argument.
That's kind of a hard argument. They both make really good arguments.
They both did make really good arguments, but on arguments alone, I'd have to give it to China.
I do too, simply because Caleb chose to cut his argument short and probably could have done a lot better job.
No, there's not really. That's the basic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. He had the longest reign ever.
But when you look at title defenses at that time, number one, the Intercontinental title was always shadowed by the world title. China's win for the world Intercontinental title did more for it than Honky Tonk Man's initial reign.
I also want to point out
I agree
that the Honky Tonk Man's run was 454 days.
Yeah, well over a year.
But that was during the time of
Where they
only
only
2
ran
pay-per-views a year. Oh yeah, it was a long ass run.
And China just did more for
All
the
right,
title.
Luke,
Yeah,
you want that one?
No arguments.
I will take it first.
That's what she said.
Oh,
All right, Luke. Number 19, rated R superstar, Edge.
that is a good Edge. While breaking into the WWE, before the Edge and Christian group got together, Edge was the first person in my recollection to ever win the Intercontinental title on a house show in front of his hometown fans against a man the caliber of Jeff Jarrett. He went on to drop that title very quickly back because it was done off camera. However, winning the Intercontinental title back in his prime after the Edge and Christian tag team, his matches with Christian were outstanding for the Intercontinental title. The ladder matches, everything. But he also wrestled Chris Benoit, Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Orton, you name it. If they were a name, Edge wrestled them, and Edge beat them to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Edge used the Intercontinental Championship to become one of the greatest champions of all time. Of all time.
Yeah.
And proved that he wasn't just a tag wrestler.
Good argument.
Very good argument.
All right.
I can't wait to see who you
Okay,
get.
Luke.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I will shit myself.
Nikolai
Number 76, Gobbledygooker. No. The Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
I quit.
So did he.
Kurt Angle won the Intercontinental Championship in his infant run, his junior varsity run in the WWE within his first year. Defended the Intercontinental title against Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho in successive Intercontinental title defenses. Went on to defend it against Triple H after that and Stone Cold Steve Austin and came out on top from every single one. For the entire year, Kurt Angle dominated the Intercontinental title division in his first run. before losing the belt and going on to becoming world champion, only to get the Intercontinental title back the year after. And again went on to defend the Intercontinental title against X-Pac, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, and I do not believe he defended against Dean Malenko. That's not the point. Kurt Angle used the Intercontinental Championship not as a stepping stone, but to elevate the highest level of competition in professional wrestling at the time. Nobody could hang with him then. Nobody can hang with him now when he's pushing 60. Kurt Angle has the best gas tank, the best performance, and when he won, I think he had a combined reign of almost, it's either 4 or 6 Intercontinental Championships, celebrated every single, well, it might be less, 3, celebrated every single win in ring as it was the world title. He made the Intercontinental title important.
Time.
He also beat Edge for it, or beat Edge with it.
Edge also beat him and shaved his head.
That is correct.
Chris Jericho has the most reigns at 9.
Yeah, we didn't say most.
So one,
yes,
one,
yeah.
Yeah, he's the greatest, to be honest with you.
All right.
We also haven't gotten Jared yet.
I think that one was pretty clear. Like, it's a great argument. You covered Edge well, but you just ran away with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Man, and it's so crazy because those two actually, that's who Kurt Angle lost the Intercontinental title to.
Yeah.
Was Edge.
All right, that leaves us with AJ Styles, Eddie Guerrero,
Oh, wow.
China,
And Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Wow. This is going to be a fight.
You won the last one.
I defer. Why don't you start us off?
Eddie,
Eddie Guerrero, while only holding the Intercontinental Championship, I think, twice, put his lineage and his name on the Intercontinental Championship. When you look at great Intercontinental Champions or you bring up the discussion of Intercontinental Champions, Eddie Guerrero's name is always at least mentioned. That says a lot more than half of the people who have held the championship. In his day, he also, like we said earlier, defended the titles against the Rob Van Dams and the Chris Jerichos, the Chris Benoit's, and that of that time. What a lot of people gloss over about that is, though, look at those names. Look at the look at the list of people that he was successfully defended the championship against, and think if 2 years later than that, you'd have put them against anybody, there's no way anyone would take out Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie Guerrero also, him holding the title made the title mean something. At least to me, I'm sure to you as well.
Agreed.
Agreed. Any way you can get it.
okay,
You got AJ.
I'll go with the middle part. Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are all names AJ Styles beat while he was Intercontinental Champion. Every single major name that is a major champion and a major championship player, contender for the modern era of the business, AJ Styles came in after spending almost 18 years in another company, walked through the door, skyrocketed to the top, took the Intercontinental title, and wrestled with the highest level of competition. His feud against Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title led all the way to an Intercontinental title defense at WrestleMania, which never happened in the modern era of professional wrestling in the last 10 years. Not only was it the Intercontinental title match, but it was a highly prolific, highly promoted Intercontinental title match against the most prolific Intercontinental champion in history. At that period of time, that would have been like Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay.
what do you think? So,
I know where I would go.
Based on the arguments alone.
so
Actually, I was thinking different. Really? I mean, the decision ultimately fall on you, but I'm going to give my reasoning by this. AJ Styles, yes, spent 18 years in a company where he was the top star. Came into the WWE, skyrocketed immediately. Eddie Guerrero, while also came from another company where they didn't utilize, busted his ass to achieve not only his European title, but the Intercontinental title. and loved every bit of it. Worked his ass off for it, and probably would have gone even farther had his life not ended so early and so tragically. Based on those arguments alone, Eddie Guerrero's Intercontinental run was so much better than AJ Styles.
I gotta agree with you. We're gonna go with.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a better argument than
I started to say, but that's the argument you're making for the Intercontinental title, not the argument he made. I just want the record to reflect that.
Also correct.
That's the argument you're making about your opinion on his Intercontinental title reign, not the arguments he and I developed. Just throwing that out there.
Very true.
Just leaving that up to the masses.
I don't give a fuck last month.
I don't either, really. Yeah.
Overall, yeah, I think Eddie.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, that leaves.
But yes, you are correct to let the record show.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right,
Who is this? China and Angle?
Oh my god.
Okay.
I defer.
Okay.
I'm losing my ass on this tournament.
No, you're not. Go, Eddie. I'll go with the mid-mark.
All right.
Not only did Kurt Angle win the Intercontinental title in his varsity year of being a professional wrestler, while we were talking about wrestlers who busted their ass to get to the top, Kurt Angle learned how to be a professional wrestler in 6 weeks. Cranked out of training, walked into the WWE, took it by storm, wrestled, in 3 months became Intercontinental Champion. Defeated Triple H, defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, defeated The Rock at the time as Intercontinental Champion, stacked up the biggest names in the business against the best natural professional wrestler in history. Had marquee matches against other technical wrestlers like Chris Benoit.
Randy Orton.
Actually, he did. He beat Randy Orton, too. Kurt Angle.
Yeah, but
Not only did Kurt Angle wrestle the top guys at the top athletic level, but he also wrestled all of the blue chippers at that period of time. Christian, Edge, X-Pac, just to name a few. Guys who were mobile, guys who were working their way up to the top. Kurt Angle didn't just beat them all the time either. Kurt Angle shared the spotlight with them. Kurt Angle elevated the Intercontinental title by maintaining its level of competition and elevating the talent that would come after it, including Shelton Benjamin.
Time.
Good call. Thank you very much.
that was well done. I want to point out though that Randy Orton let him win to help elevate his career.
No.
That's what it was. He was helping the young guy.
Not how that works.
All right,
how any of this works.
China,
All right.
ninth one in the world.
China started in professional wrestling as a bodyguard, not a worker in the ring. Started as a valet for Triple H. Now, my argument against Kurt Angle, because that's how I'm going to do this, my argument against Kurt Angle is the fact that when Kurt Angle come into the WWE, you knew he was going to be a success. You knew he was going to be a champion because he was an Olympic athlete. China was somebody who stood around the ring and managed somebody and took the world by storm as a member of DX, one of the more memorable members of DX, and then goes on to win the Intercontinental Championship, something that no one's seen coming. You can argue all you want that Kurt Angle is a great Intercontinental Champion, and he is. But when it comes to China, you didn't see it coming. You didn't expect Vince McMahon to allow a woman to hold a heavyweight championship. She had to go from the bottom to where she was on her own success and her own talent. And also, she did pretty good with the Intercontinental strap and that one magazine that she did.
Can I make a counter argument for that? I know we normally don't do that in this round, but I've got a good one.
I want you to wait just a second because that was a good, better argument than I thought you'd make. However, to say that against Kurt Angle was an Olympic wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't as many people thought he was going to be successful. A lot of people thought he was going to fail as a professional wrestler and wouldn't make it. I don't find that that's a very valid. No, because a lot of other wrestlers that tried to make that transition.
So you're going to tell me, hold on. Now I'm going to make an argument before you make your argument. You're going to tell me that you bring an Olympic wrestler into professional wrestling.
I'm not saying I doubt it.
Hold on. And they look at a amateur, professional, whatever you want to call him, wrestler. And then you look at somebody who's standing around the ring as a valet, and you're going to tell me that you would not see the Olympic wrestler being a success over the
In
LA?
a comparison, you're correct.
That's the point I'm making.
Here's my side argument. Kurt Angle didn't have Shawn Michaels and Triple H knocking down Vince's door to put China over. Kurt Angle got over on his own.
Kurt Angle did get over on his own, but here's the deal. And everyone knew that Kurt Angle would. My point is that no one knew that China could do it, and China had the talent to do it and prove that she didn't need anyone else to get her a championship.
Can't really say her matches were technically sound, though.
Look at the time frame that wrestling was taking place when she was in the ring.
Just saying,
If
baby.
I may,
Just saying.
if I may, you remember, we must remember something. These are based on their intercontinental title runs.
Uh-huh.
And the argument based on those. China, yes, came up really, really well. Great intercontinental title run that she had. I've always been a big fan of China's. But as far as intercontinental title runs goes,
I'm not going to argue on a final argument. I'm just going to state my final thing here, and that's this. When you look at Kurt Angle, you think World Championship. You don't think Intercontinental title. When you look at China, you think Intercontinental Championship.
Actually,
That's all I'm saying.
I think One Night in China.
Well, yeah.
And
That's all I'm saying.
And when she was She-Hulk.
Yeah, we're putting Angle through.
I kind of figured you were.
and it sucks.
Wait a
I
minute.
love China.
Does that mean the finals of this tournament come down to Eddie fucking Guerrero and Kurt Angle?
Yes.
I playa. Ho 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 ho.
Can we just go into the rebuttals and not have to
Honestly, that's
If you would like
probably
to-
the better way to do this
if you
because
would
we've
like to
made our
go
argument.
Well, and we're over 21 minutes right now.
All right,
You go first.
I won. You go first.
Okay. All right, I get 30 seconds, right?
If you throw Jason Jordan in my face right
I'm going to pull an Eminem. Yes, Eddie Guerrero's son is Dominic. Yes, he lost a ladder match
God
to Rey
damn it.
Mysterio to lose his son. Here's the kicker. Kurt Angle lost his kids because he's an alcoholic
Oh, that's not that.
and a pillhead.
That's nothing to do
You're
with
welcome.
having been
No,
Intercontinental
I'm just fucking
Champion.
around. I'm just fucking around. No. I would, Eddie Guerrero, I would pick, let's see, Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle.
Time.
All right. You want that argument?
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Eddie Guerrero, yes, Intercontinental Championship was not what you would look at as a whole. Same thing with your man, Kurt Angle. However, when you put Kurt Angle's Intercontinental title reign against Eddie Guerrero's, Kurt Angle, yes, won it during his first inaugural run. Granted. But it was his first inaugural run. Giving him the championship to put him over. Eddie
Time.
Guerrero earned his.
Okay.
That's a decent argument.
That's a decent argument.
Fair.
Kurt Angle, as Intercontinental Champion, earned his by defending it against the top caliber of athletic and technical wrestlers in the WWE. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, just to name a few. You don't think about Kurt Angle Intercontinental title matches without those names coming to fruition. And while Eddie Guerrero did have very entertaining Intercontinental title matches, the ladder match, for instance, very entertaining, none can argue that Kurt Angle was perfection in the ring and as Intercontinental Champion wrestled the absolute best at the
Time.
absolute highest level.
I gave you an extra 5 seconds.
Sorry
Sponsor? Either way, I don't really care. Either one of
Yeah,
these guys
either one
won,
works,
it's gonna expand, especially with the tournament, the winners
Yeah.
that we have already.
I gotta say, we're putting Kurt Angle through.
I agree on that one.
I don't disagree with that at all. So who's our winners
Both of
so
my
far?
picks one
That
day.
gives us. Let's see, Kurt Angle, Shinsuke,
Yep.
Stone Cold.
Yep. Wow.
Who are our other two?
The Rock is one, is he not?
The Rock and Kane.
The Rock and Kane, yep. All right, y'all. That's the conclusion of this week's Kurt Angle,
Hang on, I think
Shinsuke,
we got two more.
Stone Cold, The Rock, Kane,
Rock, Kane.
and Owen Hart.
Yes.
Owen Hart won. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, that concludes our Intercontinental title tournaments for this week and Pro Wrestling Throwdown's episode. Make sure to find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. And as always, from us to you, keep it in the ring.